Milwaukee. Alright, let's take a look. Got a story right here. Search.
A woman waits while a man in a truck fills 2 of her buckets with scoops of whitish powder from a bin. She sees you staring. "Want to make some cash?" she calls.
Doing what?
She takes you up the drive to her farmhouse, where her son and daughter are mixing something in a metal barrel. "Locust bait," she says. "Poison?" "The town bought enough for everyone, but we gotta mix it ourselves." She'll pay you to help.
Sure.
You use a broom handle to mix the poison with bran. The teens watch from the porch, faces frozen in distrustful scowls. Their mother pays you well, but later in the day you feel lightheaded, tingling pins and needles all over. You feel only a little better after you vomit.
Oh, jeez. Let's see, what's this way? Some money.
3 delivery trucks sit on the waterfront, their drivers securing the cargo. 12 cop cars form a protective half-ring around them. Their occupants seem to be gearing up for combat.
Oh, wow. What's happening?
You approach a pair of cops. The broad one pushes shells into a shotgun with a practiced motion and an undercurrent of excitement. His wiry partner indicates the trucks. "We gotta get these through. Keep them secure."
From what?
The broad cop grunts. "You been living under a rock?" "Strikers," says the other. "Socialist motherfuckers," the broad one adds. The wiry cop looks away.
Why are they striking?
The broad cop sneers. "Doesn't matter. They better fall in line." The other shakes his head. "My cousin's out there. I don't think their demands are..." "Maybe you're standing on the wrong side. Come on." They walk off to join a briefing huddle.
Sabotage their car.
It's a token act of resistance, but it's something. You drop onto your belly, the car between you and the gathered cops, and locate the fuel line. You jab a knife into it. It takes a few attempts, but you nick it just right and cover your face as gasoline pours out.
Stand up.
You stand to find the thin cop watching. He looks between you and the fuel leaking over the asphalt. The 2 of you lock eyes for a long second. "Go," he says.
Move on. Matthew Burns, Moanin' Low, the poet
Here you
again.
I should have known we'd meet again.
Yep, you're right. I don't know how many more stories I got since we saw each other like 5 minutes ago.
We had good odds. I think I'll wander every road in the nation twice before I find an answer to my pain. Well, every road but the paths back to Frisco. I haven't decided whether I'm going back there yet.
Okay.
Pauline and Silas don't want me in their lives. They have a new family now, and it doesn't include me.
Okay.
That one was like getting locked out in the cold with nothing but your sorrow.
Very good.
I liked it. A free mind ponders all subjects without fear. A free soul expresses its spirit without restraint. Silas had that kind of freedom once, or I thought he did. Something changed in him, though, and he began to shrink away from that. He became introspective and morose. What happened? In darker moments, I wonder if Pauline turned him against me.
Okay.
No, that's just my imagination. I've gone on long enough. Next, I'm traveling out this way, Keep an eye out for me if you find yourself over there.
You are close by to where we're standing right now. I gotta find someone else. As much as I've enjoyed our talks. Okay. Right, that's you over there. Let's find someone else. Why do I keep finding you? Let's find someone else.
The barn and silo have seen better days. One big storm might bring the whole structure down. A man hollers. Ken? Ken? I know you're here, boy. He sees you and lopes across the field toward you. You seen a boy around? About 14?
I haven't.
He sighs. My boy is missing. I haven't seen him since last night. He swallows. He ain't the type to run off, neither. Can you spare a minute to help look? I'm worried sick.
I'll check inside the barn.
Interior of the barn is dim, even with the great doors thrown open. You check the animal stalls, but find nothing. As you look up to the
Right
loft,
there.
you spot a gap in the roof. A bit of cloth hangs down. Perhaps a shirt.
Check the roof.
You climb the ladder and make your way across the roof. A trail of empty beer bottles leads you past a discarded shirt and to the base of the silo.
Oh,
You climb up. There's a hole in the silo roof, a rupture where rotten wood gave way under something large.
Look inside.
You maneuver your way along the edge, keeping your weight off the rotted panels. You poke your head inside. He's there, half submerged in the grain. He's been dead for half a day at least.
Climb down.
The man's waiting at the bottom of the barn ladder. Anything? There's a spark of hope in his eyes.
Tell him the truth.
He chokes back a sob. I told him not to go up there. Told him. He looks up at the tower, then turns to you, tears tracking down his grimy cheeks. Why didn't he listen?
Move on. This game can make you fall asleep real quick.
The man lowers his paper as you come near. His weather-beaten face is drawn. They say it's spreading. The dust is strangling the land. Half my cattle suffocated in the last storm. We cut open the carcasses to salvage the meat. They were filled with mud.
I sympathize with your plight, sir.
He licks his cracked lips. They stay dry. His land is dying. If the harvest fails again, people will too. You look past him, over his dust-choked fields. You can't imagine anything growing here.
Can't you move away, sir?
Where would we go?
Right.
My family came here for a fresh start. All we have is our claim. His voice is hoarse. We came here when there was no more work back home. Now this. If we leave, it'll just be something else.
Take your leave. I take my leave, sir.
Your skin prickles gently, though the sky is still clear. Duster's on its way. Big one. He calls after you. Come by in a week. I doubt there'll be a building left standing. A hurried little girl collides into you with a wheelbarrow full of hay, nearly knocking you out of your shoes. Oh, I'm so sorry. You nod, but the way the girl fusses over the wheelbarrow, was that apology meant for you?
You lost, little one?
Lost? Me? No, not at all. She stands up taller and squares her shoulders, projecting an image of adulthood so stiff she looks about to tip over.
But I guess I could use a little help. Can I ask you something pretty, please?
Go on.
Well, I found this critter, but my daddy won't let me keep it unless I take real good care of it.
Relating this dilemma has put her on the verge of tears.
Do you know how I can be the very best pet owner in the world?
Food and shelter.
The girl bursts into hysterical laughter, like she just heard the funniest joke.
Okay.
I don't know how to feed it when it don't have a mouth.
Oh, goodness.
The laughter fades, and her look of worry returns.
Any other ideas?
Lots and lots of love?
She smiles so bright.
That's all it takes? Gosh, I already love it so much.
That worries me. Move on. Good luck. Hear a story. Inspire crime with people from every walk of life. Businessmen, money overalls, a crowd. Oh, yeah. Close to North Dakota. Here we go.
Just a moment there, he says, shaking your hand. I'm Paul Dalhart from the Republican Herald. You may have heard of it. Syndicated in 6 counties.
Never heard of it.
Well, no matter. But listen, you may have noticed a vocal few out there, I call them naysayers, who throw up their hands and fly the white flag as soon as life gets a little tough. But wouldn't you agree that it's never been a better time to live and do business in this country?
No.
Ha! Pessimism! Negativity! Faint-heartedness! He claps his notebook shut. If there is to be an end to the great American experiment, it'll be your attitude that writes it, not mine.
Move on. You realize we're in the Great Depression era, right? Very optimistic, sir. We are in Fargo.
Ride with us a little while, stranger.
Oh?
It's a kind offer. Miles of dusty road through the rolling prairies have recast this landscape as an exhausting soup of wind and misery.
Thank you. I'll come aboard the wagon.
There are 4 of them on the wagon. A perfect nuclear family. Mother, father, son, daughter, and a small fuzzy terrier trailing behind. But the pace of their movement is glacial. The draft horse ambles forward, one agonizingly slow step at a time.
Excuse me, why so slow?
Ain't no point rushing to get where we're going.
The wooden cart shivers with every pebble on the road that its wheels must laboriously traverse. The girl in the back pipes up.
The going's the point, see?
Keep with the cart.
Time stretches wearily. The father sometimes makes half-inch adjustments to the horse's trajectory, keeping him from ambling off the road. There is some intimation that they are heading for Oregon, but at no point is it mentioned when they might arrive.
Move on. Well, that's that's very cool. The going's the point.
Here, can you find her? His voice is soft, cooing. He's lowered himself down so that his head is level with the two blonde-topped boys next to him.
Can you find Grandma?
They're pulling ears of corn off stalks with uncommon gentleness.
I'll just watch quietly.
There she is.
He points to a specific cob. It's enormous, but otherwise unexceptional.
We gave her back to the corn, and now the corn has given her back to us.
One of the boys, awed, reaches out with a reverent hand to touch the cob.
Keep listening.
This one's not for eating,
The man continues.
No, this one we keep. Come on, boys. We better get home before dinner time.
Harvest starts tomorrow. He turns to lead his children back towards where you're standing.
Say hi and apologize.
You don't really say anything. You're just interrupted by the sight of the man's face, a subtle hole under his eye socket.
I didn't see you there.
The wormy body of a stalk borer crawls out of his skull.
You'd best be moving on, Drifter.
Move on. What an interesting story. Ooh. Wow.
She waits by the ruined mill, in an overcoat 2 sizes too big.
Look, over here. Look at this.
She yells.
This only happens once every 10 years, for Christ's sake.
She grabs your hand, and you both look at the black gear rolling west to cover the sun.
Look at it.
Steadily, the darkness draws across the sun until it is almost total. She clutches your hand
eclipse.
tightly.
I've never seen this before. I've never seen this.
The sun, obscured, throbs and expands, raging against the night.
Where? You want me to look at an eclipse, ma'am? I'll look at it.
The eclipse breaks. The sun surges forward, screaming, burning, writhing in torment. Your eyes burn too, as if in retaliation, as if your witness of the sun's humiliation constituted some great insult. You look at her. Her eyes are bleeding.
Oh my. Move on.
You've seen migrant camps before, and they tend to look like the town dump. This one, though, on a good day, this could pass for a town.
I'll wander around here.
Starched white tents stand tall and many, and a stroll through the grounds finds you neither trash nor trouble. You hear some chatter from a large tent on your left. On your right, a tent in the shadow of the trees emanates a soft buzz.
I'll go right.
You pass through a shroud of flies into a curtained waiting area. The air is pregnant with the stench of rotten meat, but the area is empty, almost clean, except for the black stains that have seeped into the soil. There's only the curtain, which reaches all the way from one end of the tent to the other.
Open it.
It wears a black overcoat and a white porcelain mask with a fat, sharp beak.
Oh.
There's a butcher's knife in its gloved hand.
This is the pest house.
It snaps in a woman's voice and yanks the curtain shut.
Move on. Ooh.
There's a truck parked here. The driver mistakes your look for curiosity.
You want to see something interesting?
he asks, pointing to the trunk. He opens it. There's hundreds of metal tubes with little numbered screw-on caps sorted in wooden racks.
Pipe bombs. Ooh. What is this?
We've been surveying, he said. It's my job to study soil health. The trunk has a map taped to it, marked with numbered dots. I can show you the one from your hometown if you see it here.
Okay. It's not on the map.
It's an official-looking map, but the state borders and rivers are wrong. Half your county is missing. The surveyor offers you a coin for directions to your hometown, but his notes are funhouse mirror English writing. Fascinating, he murmurs. We learn so much from you folks.
Move on. The strange soil surveyor.
The Chinook salmon, having come to the end of its journey, is a grotesque beast. A great curved hump on its back, and that deformed hook of a jaw.
Mm-hmm.
The raven perched on it is unusually large, with a fat tuft of black feathers wrapped round its neck like a mane.
Watch it.
With one practiced peck, it strikes at the salmon's blurred eye and pops it like a grape snapping open under your teeth.
Damn.
After tasting the fluid inside, it turns toward you, beady black eyes glinting in dying sunlight.
You want some? I can't eat this all by myself.
Oh, thank you.
Suit yourself.
It steadies itself on the carcass, and some of the uric smell wafts over to you.
Don't look a gift eyeball in the mouth's what I always say.
Its voice is throaty and rough, fittingly.
What are you here for, if not the salmon?
I collect people's
People
stories.
stories, huh?
It tries to preen a stray feather back into place, but it only ends up more crooked.
What's so great about people? You should collect raven stories. Much better.
So tell me one.
Well, this one's a secret.
It flaps its wings and flies towards you, perching on your shoulder.
You see, there once was this raven who liked to...
And then, instead of finishing his thought, he just snaps at your eye with that sharp needle of a beak.
He does.
You flinch and close your eyes instinctively, losing your balance and taking an ungainly fall onto the soft sand of the riverbed.
Ha!
Cries the raven, once again perched on the dead salmon.
People always fall for it. You should have seen your face.
Move on. Jeez.
The creature looms in an evergreen clearing, blood spattered around its maw, one enormous paw still buried in the flesh of the man sprawled beneath it.
Oh, wow.
The grizzly spots you. Even at this distance, you can see its yellowed fangs. Slowly, deliberately, it begins to advance on you.
I don't remember what we do with the grizzly bear. Play dead?
You drop to your knees, curling into a ball. The only noises you can hear are your breathing and the bear's warning grunts. The bear's rancid breath is hot on your neck as it sniffs you. After what feels like an eternity, it wanders away.
Wait to be sure.
You remain still as the light fades. Eventually, You dare to move. It's just you and the dead man in the clearing. He looks dressed for a day foreclosing property, not trudging through the forest. The company here is unsettling, with him dead and you playing so.
Jeez. Move on.
Deep in the fields, you come across a group of young men clearing weeds and sod from a roadside plot. Pitchforks flying, weeds dying. You almost don't notice that the dark lump beside them is a dozing boy, lying smack dab in the middle of their work.
Oh, look closer.
There's an odd frenzy to the way these boys are ripping the sod apart. When they notice you approaching, they jog over and stand silently between you and their sleeping comrade.
What's going on here?
The youths share nervous looks. The oldest steps forward. Get going, he blurts, leveling a pitchfork at your gut. His hands are shaking. He seems serious.
Is your friend all right?
You step closer, and the ringleader loses his nerve. He died, he blurts.
Aw.
He was sweating and crying, and he just fell over. They won't come get us with the truck till sundown. You realize now that the sleeper's been posed. The ashy shadow on his face wasn't cast by a tree.
Aw. Move on.